Cliff the Dark Knight. Tomlin's next offensive coordinator and potential defensive coordinator hire will determine his fate. He cannot continue with the internal hires. That's seeking comfort. I think Austin's fine. I got no problems with him.
Austin has been playing. I mean, he's been coaching well.
Yeah, he's been
Defense
fine.
been doing fine. Through the injuries also, man.
If he moves on himself, what's his contract situation? Is he up after this year? Does he have another
I'd have
year?
to see. Usually the assistants are always 1 year deals. So that's why we don't fire our assistants, because we'll just decide not to renew you. That's
Are you counting
typically-
coordinators as assistants?
No, yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. If you're not the head guy, usually everybody else was like that. So I'm not. I would have to look at his, but it's got to be a year to two tops.
Right.
Like they don't do the long ones, long contract stuff like that.
Yeah, obviously, if he moves on
Yeah.
or if we don't renew, then yeah, we'll have to find a new guy. But
Right.
I'm fine with bringing him back, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think
And-
defense has been fine.
And Cliff, part of the reason why they do the internal hires is because of the culture part. You hear how we talk about the culture. You hear how TG talks about how I talk about how some of these alumni that have played under him have talked about it. We believe that, yeah, we want guys that think like us. We don't want people that are quick to quit. We don't want people that are looking for the easy way out. We don't want people that when it's adversity, they start pointing fingers. And you don't know what those type of guys are when you're just bringing them from wherever just because, oh, man, they score a lot of points over here. Or, you know, this quarterback played really well under him. For Coach T, he's looking for that fit, that cultural fit, that guy that he's going to not have to worry about if the message is getting convoluted. He's also not having to worry about what this guy is on a professional level. He also doesn't have to worry about if adversity hits. Is he going to be the coach when you're sitting in that room and he tells you, hey, Deke, even though if you do it this way, it's better for us as a team, I want you to do it this way because it's better for my job, and they'll show that that dude's wrong. That's some of the stuff that when you talk about internal hires, you avoid those situations. That was a real life example also, Deke.
Wow.
You sit in there and you're like, bro, what? And he's like, no, I don't care what you think, even though we know that that does work. This is the situation. I got to keep my job. Yes, bro. That's real life. So that's another big part of why the internal hires. I know that it doesn't get talked about as often because it's not as cool, and I get you on that, but that is also one of the things for him that he's big on. He wants to know the type of guys that he has inside and out, man.
I know we've talked potential new OCs a lot. Who would your top 2 or 3 guys be?
Honestly, bro, I really haven't deep dove to even research it like that. Like, I get the regular names, of course. Oh, you got Kingsbury, you got Leftwich, and I could say those names.
Batch.
But literally, I would say them names tongue in cheek just because those are the candidates that everybody has said. But to me personally, I would have to sit down. I want to go through and look. Let me go watch B Leftwich in Tampa. Hard to that extent.
Sure.
Let me go watch Kingsbury again. Hard with that extent. The way when we hired Canada, I went and looked at LSU, looked at Pitt, and I'm like, okay, this is the lateral approach. Okay, this is the approach he likes to do with this. This is how he likes to use quarterbacks here. But it's like, right now, man, there be too much stuff going on.
Way too much.
Yeah. But that's my only thing. So I'm like, I don't want to just throw names out, just throw them out, because I'm just
sure.
saying the same names everybody else has said. But
Yeah, I guess the tougher
Yeah.
ones to evaluate would be the QB,
The QB
coaches
yeah,
from
'cause-
the coaching trees of
Right.
McVay or Shanahan, those type of guys.
And we're going to have a dope list of names too. And that's the other part. So I'm like, half of me is like, I got people that I'm already thinking of, but the other half is like, yo, I know it's going to be names that I haven't even considered, but now when I hear it, I get a chance to go and actually deep dive and look and research the guy. So that's all.
My last take was you just go all in. Get Kenny's guy.
Who's Kenny Whipple?
Whipple, yeah. You just go all in. You're Tom, and you lean
Think
into
about
it.
this though.
You got the Pittsburgh connection.
If you
got
truly believe-
the in-house element, I guess.
This is my thing. If you believe in Kenny, then why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, that's
move?
my point.
thing.
I do
Yeah.
think Tomlin does believe in
Right.
Kenny. Now, to what extent, I don't know. To
Yeah.
where he would pick Kenny's guy.
Mhm.
That's the question. But
'Cause
I
that's
think
my
I
whole
would.
game.
Like, if you believe in Kenny, just
Yeah.
go all in.
Because I know from experience, if I believe in you, bro, I'm just going to get the guy that makes you be your best self or that makes you feel your best self. But if I don't believe in you, then I'm going to go with who I think is just better for whatever quarterback might come in this thing. Because that's the other dynamic with it. And I think that's kind of when even the whole Matt Canada thing that I brought up before, to an extent, it's like, yo, do you bring a guy in specifically for Ben? Or do you bring a guy in that at the time was coming from where? College, where we're saying we're going to be having to get a younger quarterback coming from where? College. So you wanted somebody that could relate to what? The dude's coming from college. they could talk like that, motivate them dudes, the concept. So that was the whole purpose of Canada. And it was, well, hey, Coach Tomlin wasn't really proven. He was kind of young too when we brought him in and it worked out. Maybe it'll be the same with Canada. That was the mindset. Now, obviously, everything has transpired, so we don't even think back to that, nor do we even care about it. But that was kind of the thought process. So with this, we're going to see something that's going to tell us similar information, whether it's we're bringing in a guy that we feel, hey, him and Kenny got some type of connection or some type of dynamic where this is clearly you're believing in him, or it's going to be the alternative where we're like, yo, this is a guy that we know is just good across the board,
Right.
but it is no connection or no hard marriage of these two.
He's going to challenge Kenny.
Right.
He can elevate him.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. I'd go either one of those
Yeah.
two approaches. Teeter, good vibes. I don't think Tomlin has been perfect, but I honestly think he has done more with less often. Our team has many issues right now. Go Steelers.
You bring up some good points, man. And I have heard people say that, man, in terms of whenever they do criticize him, one of the positives is the fact that he has done a lot more with some of these rosters at times, especially with some of the injuries.
Yeah, this year in particular with the injuries.
Yeah.
Your two best inside linebackers going down.
Mhm.
That hurts. And then your quarterback getting hurt like he has. That's going to affect things too. Like, even last game, like I don't even think last game was, oh, Tomlin, this is ridiculous. Like, how isn't this team prepared? They had a nice first drive, the Patriots did. But then the other two touchdowns, the one was because of Mitch's interception. Now, again, I guess you could get the stop for the field goal, but that's a tough spot that Mitch put the defense in. And then the other one was Casey overplaying the ball for the interception. That's 14 points right there.
Yeah.
If you want to say Tomlin's the one out there playing safety or Tomlin's the one throwing the ball, fine. But we're all watching these games. He's not.
We're seeing the same. That's what I'm saying. We're seeing the same thing. It's just a matter of if you're going to believe what your eyes are telling you or not, man.
Now, if you want to talk about going for it on that 4th and 2 or some of like those type of decisions, like that's completely fair. Completely fair. But some of the stuff in terms of just saying Tomlin doesn't have his team prepared, lost the locker room. Like I do see some of this stuff popping up, but we're talking particularly offense. We're talking a couple guys, and now we're just gonna have to wait and see these next 4 weeks how Tomlin motivates them or just what the energy's like, and then we can have a more serious discussion. I think in the off season.